Hello there everybody, my name is Michael and today I am playing Beauty Lawyer Victoria for the iPad. This is a game in which you star as a beautiful lawyer who solves a murder mystery. So it's supposed to be like the Phoenix Wright series. Unfortunately, it's not as good as the Phoenix Wright series. There are problems with the game. For example, check out the top of the screen. We have an advertisement in the game. I had to pay money for this game. I don't like it when there are unremovable advertisements in paid games. I just don't like it when games do that on the iPad. In any case, let's get started. Shocking news! Miss USA murdered. Who is the murderer? California Detention Center, defendant visiting room. Dun dun. This case is about a Miss USA. If I win this one, I will be famous. But this is a murder. If I'm wrong, I would be sorry for the victim. What is that supposed to mean, Beauty Lawyer Victoria? If you're right, you wouldn't be sorry for the victim? Because I've got to be honest, I feel sorry for the victim no matter what. The victim is dead. I'm not even sure whether my client is really innocent. Attorney, I really want to kill myself. Whoa, Dennis. Dude, don't go overboard here, buddy. I don't know why I'd become a suspect. Just because I always talk about killing the first time I meet someone, they think I'm suspicious. But why would I kill the woman I love? No one trusts me. You will trust me, won't you? Please help me prove myself that I am not the murderer. Should we accept the case? No, let's refuse this case. I don't think I can trust you. How could I defend you when I can't trust you? I can't take this case. I can't believe it. I am hopeless. Sobbing. ... Game over. So, as you can kind of tell, this game was not made in America. It was clearly made in another country and not translated very well into English. How much did I pay for this game again? I think it was just a 99-cent app. Yeah, it's probably just 99 cents. Anyway, what you're supposed to do is take the case, because we feel sorry for Dennis. He feels so bad that his girlfriend is dead that he wants to kill himself. There is no one here to help him besides the beauty lawyer. His eyes look innocent. That means he's innocent. Of course I will help you. Don't worry, I'll help you prove yourself. Thank you. Thank you so much. You are my only hope, Obi-Wan Kenobi. My only hope. Okay, let's do this for my client, who trusts me. I can do this. I've already gone through all kinds of things. But let's throw out all my research so far and start from scratch, because that's what good lawyers do. Alright, so this is the recap of the case. A beautiful Miss USA fell from a hotel room and died. Her boyfriend became the suspect right after her death. He is my client. If he is not the murderer, comma, ... Who could have killed her and why, ... ... close parenthesis. My gosh, this translation. Anyways, let's investigate the court records? ? No. What about going to the scene for more evidence? The police might have missed something out. Well, let's do both things. Let's check out the court record first. The court record. Famous Miss USA. Jessica. Occupation Miss USA. Famous Miss USA Jessica, who was staying at room 803 in the Boston Hotel in... California? Okay, Boston Hotel in California. She had fallen off the window and was discovered by manager Jack of the hotel. According to the autopsy, she was suffocated by something like a rope. That's a plot point, actually. The rope is a major plot point at the end of the game. Remember that, everyone. So she was choked to death and then pushed out a window. So the defendant is Dennis. He does not have a job. He is just a jobless loser. Okay, he's a jobless loser. Good to know. Let's go to the crime scene. So this is the crime scene. You want to look around the crime scene and find all these pieces of evidence, like the watch. You could say, hey, that watch looks good. It stopped at 8 p.m. So that could be when she was murdered. That could be important evidence. But what about this? A blackout. A message from the hotel. The hotel was blacked out because of electrical work. That could be important too. Or the victim's cell phone. That could be really important, don't you think? She made an emergency call right before she was pushed out the window. So, guess what, everybody? I've got great news for you. All these important pieces of information I found are not important pieces of information whatsoever. Let's get rid of them. These are stupid. These are useless. They have nothing at all to do with this case. Instead, the pieces of evidence that you want to find are these four. We have the rope. A rope? What is this, a long black rope? I don't get it. I don't get it either, because that's not a rope. That is clearly a belt, and it's not black, it's brown. What is going on? I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, dinner receipt. Also good evidence. A popular Chinese restaurant. At 6 o'clock in the evening. Good. The defendant's shirt. We don't need that. We need the phone. The phone. And the sales records. So these are the four pieces of evidence that you really want. Those four pieces of evidence. You want the rope, the dinner receipt, the sales record, and the phone. But the four pieces you don't want are the shirt, the blackout, the watch, and the cell phone. So basically, you have to guess randomly at which pieces of evidence are the important pieces of evidence. And you need to get the right 4 out of the 8. Yeah, hope you're really good at guessing, otherwise you won't be able to beat this game. Yeah, just be really good at guessing. In any case, time to start the trial. We have the evidence. Official trial number 1. All rise. Be seated. We will now start the trial. Public prosecutor. Defendant Dennis, who is present here today, dated victim Jessica for 3 years and recently proposed to her. However, the victim wouldn't have wanted to date him after she became Miss USA and famous because, well, he's a complete loser without a job. He is not good enough to date Miss USA. Therefore, she dumped him immediately. She could have been with many people that were better than him. She must have hoped for more, and she found it unnecessary to keep dating the defendant. The defendant became furious, so he called the victim to a hotel room, choked her to death using a rope, and threw her body out the window to make it look like a suicide. Defendant, are you really victim Jessica's boyfriend? Yes, Whoa! Dude, take a look at these people in the background. Those jury members look evil! Man, if anybody's a murderer, I would say the people in the jury are the prime suspects, because those guys are murderers. I mean, those are evil-looking jurors. I feel bad for Dennis. Why did you kill the victim? What are you talking about? This is unfair. I am not the murderer. Mr. Dennis, you were with Jessica at the hotel when she was killed, right? No, I was at home by myself. Mr. Dennis! You have to stop lying. We have all the evidence. I'm not actually gonna show any of the evidence, but dude, trust me, we have all the evidence. Just admit it. If you admit it, we will cut you a deal. Mr. Dennis, will you admit it? So this is tricky, everybody. Beauty lawyer Victoria has to make a tricky decision. What should she do? Should she tell her client to give up and admit that he's the murderer? Or should we keep fighting? What should we do? What should we do? I don't know. They do have all the evidence, none of which they're going to show, so I'm going to keep fighting this. I'm going to keep fighting. Why should he admit? What should he admit? He's not the murderer. I should further investigate this case. Maybe you should have investigated the case before going to court there, Victoria. What are you talking about? I did not kill Jessica. I swear to God. Objection! The public prosecutor is accusing the defendant without providing any evidence whatsoever. Your Honor, I would like to call the defendant's close friend, Mr. David. Oh, yeah. Beauty lawyer Victoria has a witness. Whoa, dude, David, dude, cool. David, please talk about Mr. Dennis. We've been good friends. No, we've been a good friend. We've been a good friend? What? We've been a good friend since we were young. Then you must have known Mr. Dennis was dating Jessica. Of course, we used to get together a lot. What about after Jessica became Miss USA? Did Dennis mention any trouble with Jessica? No. Even though they were not able to spend as much time together after Jessica became Miss USA, but there was no trouble between them. Unlike the trouble there was in that previous sentence's grammatical construction. If so, then public prosecutor's argument that Jessica wanted to break up with Dennis is not true. Right, she didn't want to break up with him at all. They seemed to love each other just as much even after Jessica became Miss USA. Your Honor, it is not true that Dennis killed Jessica. Alright. Okay, so we have proven that Jessica was totally seeing the defendant even after she became Miss USA. That's good. That's fantastic. And that is the end of the first section of the case. In the next video, we will move on to section number 2.